It was an ordinary New York City afternoon, the kind where the subway hums with restless energy. Commuters packed shoulder to shoulder, scrolling on their phones, clutching bags, or staring off into space as the train rocked along the tracks. For most, it was just another ride. But for a handful of strangers who happened to be in that car, it was a ride that would change their lives forever. Among them was Jordan Neely, a 30-year-old man who had once been known for his spot-on Michael Jackson impersonations in Times Square. He had danced, moonwalked, and smiled for tourists who dropped dollar bills into his hat. But life had not been kind to him. Years of hardship, mental health struggles, and homelessness had chipped away at the man he used to be. On this day, Jordan stepped onto the subway visibly agitated. He shouted about being hungry, about being tired of struggling, about not caring if he lived or died. Some passengers ignored him. Others looked uneasy. A few clutched their belongings tighter, unsure if he was a threat or simply a man at the end of his rope. The subway car grew tense, like a balloon stretched too thin. That tension was noticed by another passenger, Daniel Penny, a 24-year-old Marine veteran. He had served his country, trained in combat, and was used to stepping in when danger appeared. On this subway, he believed danger was exactly what he saw. Daniel got up, moved quickly, and placed Jordan in a chokehold from behind. Witnesses gasped. Some passengers cheered quietly, relieved that someone had taken control. Others were horrified, warning that the hold was too tight. Jordan struggled, his body twisting, his voice breaking into muffled cries. Minutes passed, too many minutes. When the hold was finally released, Jordan was limp. His chest no longer rose and fell. Paramedics would later confirm what some in the subway already knew. Jordan Neely was dead. The aftermath was immediate and explosive. The video of the chokehold, filmed by a passenger, spread across social media like wildfire. To some, Daniel Penny was a hero, a man who had stepped in to protect innocent people on a subway where danger too often lurked. To others, he was a vigilante, a man who had taken the life of someone who posed no deadly threat, a man who used force far beyond what the situation demanded. In the days that followed, protests erupted in New York. Crowds shouted Jordan's name, demanding justice. Signs reading "Homelessness is not a crime" and "Black Lives Matter" filled the streets. Others defended Penny, raising money for his legal defense, praising him as a citizen who had the courage to act when others froze. The city was split down the middle, and the case quickly drew national attention. When the courtroom doors opened, the debate became official. The prosecution argued that Daniel Penny had gone too far. They pointed out that Jordan Neely was unarmed, that his threats were words, not actions. Witnesses testified that he hadn't physically attacked anyone. The chokehold, they said, was deadly force that should only be used in the gravest danger. This was not self-defense, the prosecutor declared. This was a killing. The defense countered with a different picture. They painted Jordan as unpredictable, a man who had a long history of mental health issues and prior arrests that showed he could turn violent. They reminded the jury that Daniel Penny was trained to protect others, and in that subway car, passengers genuinely felt afraid. To him, in that moment, restraining Jordan was the only way to keep others safe. He didn't intend to kill, the defense lawyer argued. He acted to protect. Outside the courthouse, the world weighed in. Talk shows debated it. Politicians issued statements, and everyday New Yorkers argued at coffee shops and bus stops. Was this case about race? A white Marine killing a black homeless man? Was it about the failure of the city to care for its most vulnerable? Or was it a straightforward case of self-defense gone wrong? The jury listened to hours of testimony, expert witnesses breaking down chokeholds, medical examiners explaining the cause of death, subway riders describing their fear. The line between heroism and recklessness blurred more with every word. Finally, the verdict came. The courtroom went silent as the foreman read it aloud. But as with so many cases on guilty or not, the verdict didn't settle the debate. Some cheered, others cried. The city remained divided. For Jordan Neely, there was no second chance. For Daniel Penny, there was the weight of a decision that would follow him forever. And for the rest of us, there was a haunting question. Did Daniel Penny commit murder that day? Or was he simply doing what he thought was right to protect strangers on a subway car? Was he guilty or not? For more chilling true crime cases, subscribe to our channel. Guilty or Not.